I don't know if taking my arm off would have done anything. Apparently not, because all the others, the last one is still stopping Lee from turning, so it wouldn't have helped anything. So keeping it just made me do better in the other things, I suppose. But yeah. Oh, let's just go through it quickly. Remove Lee's arm. You and 29% of players didn't remove the arm, so wow, a lot of people chose to do so. Well, I can understand why. It's like somewhat of a hope, right? If you don't remove it, you just know for sure you're gonna turn. And if you do remove it, there's some small hope to hold on to, because you're not sure whether it would help or not. But eh. Lost temper. You and 70% players lost your temper with Kenny. Well, everyone would. Disarmed, gave up weapons. You and 41% of players kept your weapons. Oh, against the dude, yeah. Killed Clementine's captor. You and 43% of players killed a stranger. Wow, only 43? I mean, seriously, after bonding with Clementine so strong in all the previous episodes, when the fact that he took her, I was pretty pissed, so I would, kill anyone that would do that to her. And goodbye, stop Lee from turning. You and 62% of players made sure Lee didn't turn. Seriously, I would just tell her to kill me. I mean, I mean, I know for a fact that it's already been announced that episode 6 through 10 is coming out next year, 2013. But yeah, there's no way he would make a return in that unless as a zombie. But what the fuck is that gonna do? Oh god. What's this? All the people that have fallen? No, because Omid is still there. Um, Kenny, you defended his son in the drugstore. I did. You talked him down, ignoring his son's fate. You killed his son so he didn't have to. He was lost to the herd trying to save Krista. Yeah, but he did that on his own. I didn't tell him to do so. Or yeah, you found water for Duck when he needed it. Well, of course, she shot herself in the face with her son's early death. Yeah, early death. Well, death. You restrained Lily while Kenny crushed his head. That's the only thing I did for Larry. Larry died in a meat locker at the dairy. Oh, I hated that bastard, so yeah. You chose to reveal your past to her. You left her at the side of the road. Well, she fucking deserved it. She shot Carly, damn it. And Omid, you were separated after you crossed the sign. Yep. And then Ben, you stood up for Ben and Crawford. I did, but I then dropped him from the tower. Sorry. Carly, you saved her life at the cost of another. Who? Oh yeah, Doug. You agreed with her to tell others about your past. You defended her against Lily's accusations. She was killed by Lily. Fucking Lily. Who's that? Oh, Krista. You helped her get onto the train. You hid your bite from her. Yeah. You told her and Omid to find a boat and meet you. You asked her and Omid to take care of Clementine. They better. They better take care of her. She's an awesome little girl. Alright, Doug. Wait, that's Doug, right? Told him he was a strange guy. You weren't wrong. Well, of course not. He was one strange little creature. You were with him when you found your brother? Oh yeah. He died when walkers attacked the drugstore. Um, Doug, you argued that he was not bitten back in Macon. Well, he wasn't. You let him be your sidekick solve a mystery. Hell yeah, we even high five, man. You shot him before he could turn. Well, yeah. Who would want that little kid as a zombie jump on you, you know? Alright, so it's been about a day since I finished episode 5, and I don't know, I just kept thinking about a couple of things that I just wanted to say, which I couldn't during the game because of all um, the drama and just being in the heat of the moment. Some of the choices I made, primarily during episode 4 and especially 5. But yeah, the thing that I kind of regret in episode 4 was uh, Ben leaving him, well, uh, not rescuing him in the first place. For some reason, I thought in the end that he wouldn't make it no matter what, even if I tried to rescue him or not. I don't know why I thought that, but obviously later I found out that he would make it if I tried to save him, and but that's not really the reason why I didn't try and pull him up, because during pretty much the entire game he's been someone that was, well, at least I felt someone that was only a burden to the entire group every single time. He just felt so useless, always. He didn't contribute to anything, ever. He only made, I mean, for example, the last part when we were in the Crawford headquarters or wherever it was. In the end, he was the one that let the zombies in, you know? That's what I meant. He just, even when he tries to, because in the beginning, he kept the secret that he tried to pay off the bandits to keep them away from us, and um, didn't tell us about it, and that's why Carly and eventually through another series of events, Katja and Duck also died. That was all because of him. And what else? What else did he mess up? Yeah, and then afterwards, even if he confessed to me on the train, and then afterwards, oh, I told him to keep his mouth shut because it wouldn't do any good. People already thought bad of him, and to confess something like that to him, to the others, would only make it worse, you know. So yeah, after he confessed, I know he tried to do good and tried to redeem himself or something, but I just don't know. He has been, even afterwards. He was with us for quite a long time after we confessed to me at least that he did it, and still was someone that I felt like wasn't pulling his own weight in the group, you know. Even Clementine, he was a tiny 9-year-old girl. I mean, nonetheless, she's awesome. She was so fucking awesome and brave and smart for her age and all that stuff. Was so much more useful despite actually you know being kidnapped and actually keeping from us that she was talking with the kidnapper through the walkie-talkie and all that stuff. Despite all that, she was still so much more useful than him. She tried to help every single time, you know, even when we didn't tell her to help or something. She either chose to do so on her own or suggested something, you know. And Ben never did that because everyone thought like, oh, Ben, he's just not useful. He should have, because most of the time we just put him on baby watch or something, you know, take care of Omid when he was hurt, or stay with Clementine, which he freaking abandoned, by the way, at the beginning of episode 4. Stupid Ben, seriously, couldn't do anything right. But yeah, he never complained about. Yeah, he complained sometimes, but like quietly, like, oh yeah, um I'm just doing this. Well, what? Yeah, but for example, on the train, when he was like, "Yeah, I'm not helping with the train. I'm just here with the kids," and then, I mean, if he felt like he could do better or he wanted to redeem himself, he should have not only volunteered, but if we put him on like baby watch again or something, he should, you know, stand up for himself and say, no, I can help in a different way. Let me do this. Let me do that. Something, just something, you know, not just accept immediately if he's given the bad task or the easiest task to do and yet still fuck it up. But yeah, I still felt that afterwards, at least not at the moment, that I should have given him at least more time to, you know, try and redeem himself. I mean, the only reason why I kind of let him go was both the time pressure that the zombies were walking up the stairs. Kenny was nodding at me, looking like, dude, you gotta let him go, man. So yeah, that's kind of why I let him go, but I still kind of regret it somehow. But yeah, there's no turning back. He would have eventually died, though. Even if I saved him, he would have died later. And I believe I don't know in any of the other options of other people's games, because obviously pretty much every single road is different when you take a different uh, answer to certain questions or take different choices than other people. You know what I mean? Then yeah, but he would eventually wound up dying or sacrificing himself for someone else. And then in episode 5 was mainly near the end because it was such an emotional ending. Um, when Clementine pulled Lee into the jewelry store and he was on the verge of turning, reanimating in a zombie or walker, and one of the things that I regret was with the handcuffs, because I believe I said it during the episode or something, or when, but I I thought, yeah, I don't know why I thought, but I said try and put it on the zombie first, and then maybe later on me, but that wouldn't make sense, would it? She probably wouldn't have the keys unless I thought that the keys that the police zombie dude had was also for the god, what the fuck was it? Handcuffs. But yeah, that's like maybe thinking too far. Maybe they didn't realize that either. But it was obviously just for escaping out of the jewelry store. So yeah, I put it on the zombie first, and then um, instead of myself, thinking that if I turned at any moment during when she was busy with the other zombies, she would have to deal with at least one, not being attacked by both the lead that would have turned and the other zombie that was in the that would have been stuck with the handcuffs. But yeah, that didn't make much sense later on because he still broke loose, and then went after Clementine. She awesomely killed her though with the baseball bat, and then comes one of the biggest. I don't. It's somewhat of a regret, but it's just I don't know if I should have let her shoot me or not, because uh, obviously you were playing Lee, the character, the whole time. While I was playing him, other people that were in kind of the same misery, that didn't want to turn, I kept that um, the sort of promise to them that I wouldn't let them turn. I killed the woman in the first episode, and also some other people that didn't want to turn. I just put them out of the misery, or do what they wanted me to do. And when you're kind of put in that same situation, you also don't want to be turned yourself, but to let a 9-year-old girl who you've been bonding with and had a very strong connection with from the very start, to let her shoot you is kind of, I don't know, I think maybe like a moral gray area. Although it's not something that I thought about at that particular moment. It was more something like, I don't want for myself to go after her, and I don't want her to be in danger of me turning and then doing something against her. And also, she was Lee was to her like the most important person in pretty much from the beginning, someone she looked up to and looked up as a guardian, someone who protected her, and later on also somewhat of a father figure perhaps. But to let her then kill that person that meant so much to her, that's also just something that I didn't think about at that time, and it's something I just, yeah, maybe I could have done something about that, because you kind of had the choice, either let her shoot you or turn, and you didn't want either. But then there's also the thing that she would be on her own from that moment on, the moment, even whether you turned or when she shot you, she would have been on her own. I think it would be worse if she had to shoot you as a zombie or as a walker because of the scare that you were once you were once Lee, and now you're trying to attack her, kill her, or something. I think it still is better to, if she's going to kill you, then to do it when you are still human. And if she's able to do it, to put herself to bring the strength together to be able to, that she would, gain more emotional strength to keep carrying on, for whatever is ahead on her own. Yeah, it's just somewhat of a ramble, but I just don't know what I what I did was the right decision in the end. At that moment, of course, I thought, but later, now at the moment, I'm not so sure. Perhaps I could have just, tied myself on the radiator with the handcuffs, and so that when I turned, I wouldn't go after her. But even if the other zombie broke loose from the God, what's it called? He was stuck to a pole or something with the handcuffs that Clementine tied him to. So I would have eventually broken loose too then. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, man. It was just so difficult, and especially near the end. I mean, I'm not a very emotional person. I don't ever cry really, not at funerals or something. Sure, things are sad and it gets to me, but I'm one of those person that keep it bottled up or something. I don't know. I don't feel that kind of thing that I think regular people would, but at that, especially near the ending, you could probably see me like a couple times just close my eyes for quite a long time to just fight back the watery eyes that I was getting. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just This is pretty much getting kind of repetitive now because it's still just myself struggling whether I made the right decision or not. But I did what I did, and I believe all that information or choices that you made carries over into season 2. At least I hope so. And yeah, I'm just very much looking forward to that, even though it's somewhere in 2013 next year. So gotta have to wait quite a while, but it's okay. I just wanna say, yeah, thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the series, and I'm gonna be doing a lot more playthroughs of different games, so please look forward to that, and let me know if you have any questions towards me regarding this series or whatever, or any of the choices you made, your experience with the game, anything. Just leave a comment if you want. I'll try and reply.